Do Crohn's disease symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya guselkumab may help. At 12 weeks, rapid symptom remission was achieved in most patients taking Tremfya, and some experienced visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Individual results may vary. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Explore what's possible and ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
New Balance Hoops is changing the game with a roster built for the future. Darius Garland, Tyrese Maxey, and Zach LaVine push the pace, while Cooper Flagg is set to be the next #1 pick. Cam Brink is raising the bar for women's basketball, proving that impact goes beyond the court. Whether it's the Hezzy Low V2s for quick cuts, the two-way V5 for all-round play, or the Kawhi 4 for those who never stop climbing, New Balance Hoops makes shoes built for every player. Visit newbalance.com/basketball to explore more.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard are here to make you a friend of ours.
That would mean you were made guy.
Investigating what is and isn't legit.
That's a Fugazi. All right? That's a Fugazi. I looked at it for 2 seconds.
Seeing through the lines to make you a better.
I know you know. And I know you know I know you know.
The FTM Army is being sent for.
In our thing, you get sent for, you go in alive, you come out dead. And it's your best friend that does.
These two wise guys would never steer you wrong.
Forget about it.
This is Real or Fugazi on Follow the Money.
You know it. Phenomenal open. Eclectic mix here. I got a lot for you. In light of what happened last night, Broome was held under 10 points. Auburn lost. Flag is now $4. Is the Wooden Award over?
Oh, hello. He's minus 550.
Hey, that high now?
Yeah.
Okay. It is over. Real or Fugazi?
Oh, it's real. I would think it's over now, because not only did he have a subpar game last night, speaking of Broome,
yeah,
couple that with what happened against Kentucky when they blew the doors off the Wildcats at Rupp Arena, and Broome really didn't do much in that game. And since then, Flag, in his previous game on Monday night, he was spectacular. So I think the odds are probably right now. Well, I think we should maybe spend a little bit more time talking about awards in general at some point. Maybe not right now, but when Broome got hurt and he only missed like a brief amount of time, I said on the air, look, I'm betting Broome right now plus 550 to win the award. That is completely out of whack. Then he turned into a 320 favorite. And while he was having that bad game against Kentucky, and this is okay, you can ride or die with your ticket if you want, or you can monetize a ticket. I said I have to take plus money while it's still available on Flag, just in case something happens. And I wash my hands of the award, because you don't know how voters are going to go about it. Yeah. So, but Flag is going to win it now. Wow. Yeah.
Bobby Hurley flopping at Arizona State, a bigger surprise than Pitino winning the Big East title in year 2 at St. John's. Is that real or Fugazi?
No, I'm going to say that's Fugazi.
I thought he'd win there. Remember, he came in. They were number 1 or number 2 in the country. Had some huge non-conference wins. And then
they went to Kansas and won?
Yeah, and then they were terrible in the Pac-12 and barely got in the tournament.
First of all, how long has he been at Arizona State?
Good question.
It feels like he has been there for far too long based on the results overall.
It was early on at VSiN. When we started at VSiN, he was still there.
Yeah, but I have to say, think about Pitino going to St. John's only for a couple of years now. That's a good. Look, they have UConn, and now he's going to win it this early. He's running away with the conference in the regular season. That's even better than I anticipated out of that guy.
Yeah. Okay. So I got fired up. You saw the odds. People talk about it. I haven't seen any these movies, at least going into last week, and I saw Demi Moore was minus 250. to win Best Actress. This Substance is the biggest bunch of crap I've ever seen. It's a total abomination that this was up for awards and Oscars. I can't believe it. Demi Moore isn't a good actress. Is that real or fugazi?
Okay, before I agree, explain.
Oh, my God. It's just... So your source told me going in, hey, the first hour is pretty good, and then it goes off the rails. It reminds me of The Thing at the end. Dennis Quaid's a wild character in the movie. They're saying she's 50 years old, she's too old, she can't get in a new part, whatever. So she takes a substance to look younger, and then it just was half the movie she's laying naked on the side. She's not even talking. And then I tell you, I can't get past the voice, too. That's a big deal to me. And then you look at the resume, good in G.I. Jane, good in A Few Good Men, but gone at the right time with the Brat Pack, and then married Bruce Willis, and then became famous, and then that power couple. But there's not a lot of meat on the bone.
I have to be honest, I don't think I've seen enough of her movies to have an opinion on it.
Really? So is The Voice a big deal, though, too?
I kind of like The Voice.
You're kidding.
No, I kind of like it.
Disclosure? Did you like her in Disclosure? I compare her to John Cusack. I don't think John Cusack's that good. I think he's overrated. I think Demi Moore's a lot like Cusack.
I think Cusack is kind of the same guy all the time, although some of his movies have been pretty good.
Yeah. Yes.
Grosse Pointe Blank, good.
Fair.
High Fidelity, very good.
Yes.
But it wasn't all based on him, I don't think. Yeah, I got to tell you, I didn't think I ever saw Striptease.
I saw that.
Was it good, or was it just like...
Well, I mean, it's a cartoonish, weird movie. Burt Reynolds is actually good in it. But she just did that for the paycheck and got naked.
Yeah, I don't think the resume probably is not that lengthy, is it?
Yeah, I can't believe it.
Although A Few Good Men was...
I can't believe it. She didn't win. That was a bleep show, that movie.
That movie?
Oh, my God.
I'm telling you, like this... boy. I don't know. None of them look good to me.
Right?
None of the movies look good to me.
It was a weird year.
Yeah. Tom Brady has something up his sleeve to address the Raiders quarterback situation this offseason. Real or fugazi?
No, that's 100% real. But it also, is that a positive? Because that's interesting about... Remember what Phil Jackson said to Kobe Bryant? Like, no one can get to your 10. Your 10, in terms of how you work out and the effort and what you put in the offseason and waking up at 5 a.m., no one else can get to your 10. That's what you have to understand. Brady's the best to ever do it. So how he's evaluating quarterbacks, then to think like he's thinking, oh, he'll come in and have this success, and I did this. I think it's out of whack because you're the GOAT. And that's going to be hard for him to evaluate quarterbacks. But also, what's he looking at in terms of, is it Sanders? Is it a Darnold? Which you would think it's Tom Brady. It could be a negative, though. You're giving this guy this much control and say so that maybe you're although you can't do worse than what you've had.
Right.
But
and
that maybe he'll strike out and whoever he takes won't work out.
They released Minshew today, but something tells me like it's not going to just be Shedeur Sanders, number 6 overall. That seems too easy for Brady to come here, get part ownership. He's going to have a lot of the say now. And they fired the coach and the GM. Mark Davis is basically giving him the keys. And I don't think he's going to just say, yeah, I'm good with Sanders being the rookie. I think we're going to be totally set then. That doesn't feel right to me.
Yes.
I think there's something else cooking here.
Tim Bontemps, ESPN, said this today. Anthony Davis should never play another game as a Dallas Maverick. They should trade him in the offseason because Kyrie could be out another year. Who knows? Is that real or fugazi?
Oh, you know what? For once in my life, I agree with Tim Bontemps. Yeah, that's real.
Yeah, where are you going? This guy could be out a year and a half now.
He had no idea the trade was coming. Did he ever want out of Los Angeles? I highly doubt it. Right? He specifically targeted that team and agreed to go play with LeBron before he got traded there from New Orleans. And so now this trade happens. You're going to deal with Nico Harrison as the GM. First of all, even Anthony Davis should be smart enough to realize I can't trust this guy for a second based on what he did. He probably would have said, dude, that's a stupid trade. Don't do that. Kyrie Irving going out now certainly, goes to warp speed with this situation. Yeah, he should say, and by the way, with all the power the players have in the NBA, he could easily say, get me out of here, trade me somewhere else. I don't want to play here anymore.
He should do that.
Yeah.
I never thought of it, but that's now with this injury. I mean, your window was 3 years, and now it's down to, what, 1 at tops? The NBA would instantly improve their product and win fans over by cutting the regular season down to 60 games or so. Is that real or fugazi?
100% real.
All these seasons, except in the NFL, are too long.
Yeah,
cut the games down.
Get baseball down to, 120 games, 140, whatever it is.
Hockey's too long. NBA's too long.
Get it. If you...
Start. Like, you ran into a beautiful situation during COVID by accident. Start around Christmas and end in June, July.
No question. And so instantly, I think you would win fans back because a lot of the old school basketball fans always complain about the sport. But again, we go over this every single day. It's a guessing game who's going to play and who's not going to play now that we're on in the afternoons. Sometimes tip time is 90 minutes away and we still don't know.
Yeah.
You would eliminate almost all of that crap from the league. And we had Tom Habistro on this show, I don't know, probably 2 years ago. He was on several times, but he made one appearance. His idea was to cut it down to 58 games, but you basically only play on, was it Tuesdays and Fridays or Tuesdays and Saturdays? Only twice a week, that's it. There's going to be no back-to-backs. Guys aren't going to be missing games because they're hungover or because they're super tired from, traveling from city to city and playing back-to-back games. Immediately, it's like a B12 shot for the league if they would cut down on 82 games in the regular season.
Yep. The best spot for Cam Ward is Cleveland. Is that real or fugazi?
That's probably, of the teams at the top.
Because you get the expectations in the circus in New York. Tennessee's a mess. What are the expectations in Cleveland? You're coming in replacing Watson, who was a disaster.
Right.
The bar's low.
And you're also going to be playing for a coach who is two-time coach of the year.
Okay, that too.
So clearly Stefanski knows what he's doing, and that guy is more than a rock-solid head coach at this point, and made it work with Joe Flacco. It just, they made one of the worst trades in history and one of the worst signings that any team has ever done in sports with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
So I would say that you're exactly right. You're going to go from Watson to him. Like the fan base, they're not going to be saying Super Bowl in 3 years or bust.
No, yeah, right.
So anything positive that happens is going to be magnified.
I didn't know how to ask you this. I went to the vet the other day. I got this. The lady in front of me is doing play-by-play with everything. You ever get this? She's talking to the dog. Okay, I got your medicine now, and now you're going to be good, and we're going to go home, and you're going to get better, and I'm going to give you your pills, and it's $80. Okay, I'm going to put my card in here and insert, and then I'm going to. She's doing play-by-play of everything.
And here's my PIN, and by the way, my address here now and everything, and yeah.
The whole thing. She's doing play-by-play of her life, and every move she's doing play-by-play. I'm like,
I don't know.
God.
This is not really comparable, but one time at a grocery store, the lady in front of me and like a bunch of other people in line.
Of what everything they're swiping?
Oh my God. She had to get the coupon, like their magazine, their weekly flyer out, and she challenged everything that she had.
No.
And there was only one cashier at the time, and everybody's like, what is going on? And she's like, no, what about this? This is supposed to be 3 for 99 cents or whatever. She did it for every item in her. Well, like, can somebody open up another register here?
Oh, no.
This is absurd. So I went to a different line.
That's the worst.
I was like third in line. I was through my line and I was walking out. She's still back there bitching.
About coupons.
Yes!
Holding everything up. Oh, my God. That's an all-timer.
Oh,
that's bad. Yep. Plan your Vegas getaway. Derek Stevens offering you 15% off at 3 great properties, Circa, the D, Golden Gate. Book now, circalasvegas.com, code VSiN15 to get 15% off. Weather's heating up. Get out here now. Vegas adventure starts here. circalasvegas.com, code VSiN15.
We have another really strong college basketball card tonight. We'll go over the marquee games and beyond next here on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Coming up in 15 minutes, best bets tonight in college basketball. And maybe a look at some conference tournaments as well with VSiN host Matt Youmans. Before we get into tonight's card here, Pauly, on our own, bunch of feedback on Demi Moore. People loved Ghost, evidently. I haven't seen it in so long, I don't remember it, to be honest, other than I felt like it was maybe a little bit cheesy. But it was good. So,
good performance and decent proposal. Woody Harrelson and Redford.
Yeah, now you're going back a long time.
Bad.
But that, yeah.
I
remember when that Kurt came out, everybody was shocked. Can you imagine this ever happening? Today that premise comes out, people are going to be like, yawn. Right? Like, that seems kind of boring. Of course people would consider this nowadays.
But I can't believe she was minus 250 to win. Oh, there's nothing big, nothing special about the performance.
There at all. No, really.
The movie's crap. I mean, it's just, I was stunned watching it. Stunned by the whole thing.
I remember I'm sorry.
You're also thinking, like, based on the name and who she was married to, but you're looking at Meryl Streep, Julia Roberts, Carrie Coon's great. But if you're looking at, and I'm missing a lot of gals too, but that's, I don't know. There's some big names on there, but it's always like a supporting cast. And can you nail the line? Can you nail the scene? With me, I felt like she rarely did that. I
used to try to make it a point, and this is back when they only had like 5 movies up for Best Picture. I would try to make, like every year I try to watch all of them or get to as many of them as I possibly could.
Me too, right, yeah. The buzz, you got to go see this.
For sure,
yes,
right? And back when I really, I guess, enjoyed movies more than what I do nowadays. But I remember one year, I specifically went to go watch The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke on Oscars Day, by the way, because I heard so much about it. He was the favorite to win, and I loved the movie, and I thought he was fantastic. I'm like, oh, he's going to win tonight. He didn't win. And I think Sean Penn beat him or something like that?
Sean Penn got it.
Yeah.
But he won most of the awards before all that. But the big thing was he won a BAFTA or whatever it was, and it was a profanity-laced acceptance speech. And I think they used that against him because he's a character.
Oh, that right? He is.
I also was going to ask you how important, because I was watching the Laker game last night. Tobey Maguire, DiCaprio, and Orlando Bloom are sitting there courtside. But also tying in how important that an agent is. And just getting that role and being in position to get that role. And does the agent get you the script, and how important that would be in your inner circle as well? Because how many times did Mickey Rourke turn down that big opportunity in that big role?
Oh, I think that
it's hilarious how he passed on this, he passed on that. It's nuts. It's a joke what actually happened. Now I'm glad it worked out for him, and the wrestler changed things. And I know he said he did a lot of damage to his career as well, and he was a total a-hole at times. But the wrestler, and then getting back on Iron Man too. But it's what he was in. But you look back at he passed. Oh, he didn't do that.
Right, I got the list.
Was it
right
Pulp
now.
Fiction? Was he up? Go ahead.
So here's the list, according to rumors anyway. The movies that Mickey Rourke turned down: 48 Hours. I don't know which role he would have had in any of these movies. I'm just going to throw them out there: Top Gun, Beverly Hills Cop, Platoon, The Untouchables, Rain Man, Silence of the Lambs, Pulp Fiction, and Death Proof.
Are you kidding?
I remember hearing about a bunch of those many years ago.
You see what I'm saying, though? Travolta was doing Dog Bleep. He's doing movies with talking babies. Tarantino gives him Pulp Fiction, turns the whole thing around.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Did a 180 at that point.
Yeah, and he's doing movies every 2 months that were coming
Well,
out.
And then, by the way, once you land that first movie that's up for an award, or if you happen to win, then you get whatever you want.
That's right.
And then you can be as selective as you want. Yeah. I think it's the resume for Daniel Day-Lewis. It's not a lengthy list.
Oh, I know. But
everything he's in, he absolutely dominates the screen.
Yeah.
He's one of the best actors of all time.
No question.
But he would pick and choose, though. And that's what made him more special, I think, rather than doing 7 movies a year.
Right. That's what DiCaprio's done. Work with great directors and don't do bad movies, and make sure it's always as good as it can be or right up there, right?
Yeah.
Because you look at his movies, and it's a big deal and a big-time director involved. But then again, if he doesn't get Titanic, we never hear about him probably. Titanic changed everything.
Yeah, that was before he really went on a big run, wasn't it? Because I think all those major, those hits that came after that were all 2000s or later.
I think he'd done Gilbert Grape and maybe, I don't know when Basketball Diaries came out, but yeah, that's...
You ever see Catch Me If You Can?
Loved it.
Awesome.
Phenomenal movie.
So good.
Yes. That is a great movie.
It's, people forgot about it, it's been lost.
It's a true story.
Oh, absolutely it is.
Yeah.
And it's so rewatchable.
Yes.
I watched it 3 or 4 times. I go, oh my God, this thing is incredible. I can't believe I was 10 years late to the party on this.
Yeah.
So.
Right. That's like Hanks, too. Hanks was always in blockbusters and great movies.
Yeah.
Guy was doing Bosom Buddies and some
Joe
weird...
versus the Volcano.
Yeah, right. You got to be in position, though, where who's going to bat for you and who can get you that big script, and then you got to kill it at the audition, whatever. But also it's the agent saying to give my guy a shot, whatever, and then turn your whole life around.
Yeah. Okay, are you going to be on Maryland tonight against Michigan? Because it feels like the entire world's going to be on them.
Youmans, Will Hill, Palm, Hoops Peterson. Hoops makes Maryland the favorite in the game. We just did this last time against Michigan State. They're very popular, and they lost. So it's a great game.
And more money,
spot.
by the way, on the Terps.
Yeah, that's right. Can't do it.
So the market are doing the same thing here. They're not the only 4, right? Because Michigan's now down to 1.5.
No, my mistake, too. 3:30 tip, not 3 o'clock. My fault. it goes in 15 minutes. So I don't mind Michigan here, and a great coach and a team. Yeah, I know it was bad against Illinois, and they've had some subpar performances and the close wins, and they should have lost to Rutgers. But I'm not there with the Maryland hype, and even Lenardi saying this is a Final Four team.
All right,
I'm not there.
Are you going to be there? It feels to me like Ole Miss is going to be a very popular home dog tonight.
Yes.
Against Tennessee.
Yes, I concur with that one. Also popular, but I think you see a letdown here with Tennessee. Which was also, with an Ole Miss win, it also opens the door for whoever wins this Florida-Alabama game. Because the pecking order is Tennessee's your last 1 seed, followed closely Florida, and then Bama. Obviously, they play tonight, and then Bama gets Auburn this weekend.
Yeah, so if you could tell me before the game, please, if Tennessee's going to hit some outside shots.
That's it.
That's valuable information.
Yeah.
Because we brought this up to Seth Greenberg. Like, this is way easier said than done. And I guess you could throw this out there about 50 teams in the country. But specifically to me, if Tennessee hits their shots because their defense is so good, they will be in the Final Four. But I don't trust them. I don't know when it's going to happen. Like tonight, are they going to be 11 of 24? Or are they going to be 4 of 31? I just don't know which team is going to show up tonight on any given night from downtown. So that's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't I haven't bet either one of these teams. I think Tennessee's A game is top 3, top 4 in the country. No doubt about it. No hesitation. But like some of these other teams, you don't get the A game all the time.
I don't mind Oklahoma with the season on the line. I mean, if Oklahoma loses this game tonight, they'd be 4-13 in league play. I think this is the last stand for Oklahoma, unless it's a deep run in the SEC tournament.
So if they improve to 5-12 in league play?
Still, does that move the needle? Okay, you beat Missouri at home. To me, it's college sports. You're supposed to win your home games.
By the way, two things, hopefully moving forward, that we can get on the betting board a little bit more than what we have. I want to be able to bet the seed of a team, like in January. Where's this team going to be seeded? Put up a 4.5 or a 7.5, whatever. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Also, if you can bet the yes-no on these teams to make the tournament, and just keep them up. Keep them up, adjust the numbers, put them up middle of conference play.
Yeah.
I think those are some really cool markets to have a chance to bet into, but they're not up nearly enough to actually say, hey, I got a great-looking portfolio on these teams.
Before you do the G-Bank best bet, I want you to be, now that we're in conference tournaments, remember now, when you lose, you collect the jerseys. So you will see crazy scramble points and teams fouling down 12 with a minute left in games, knowing that we go home if we lose. So be careful with the totals. But you're on the total here tonight.
I am. So we are going to go the G-Bank bet of the night. It is, in fact, Central Connecticut State and Lemoyne over 143.5. The total when they played back on January 24th was 136.5. 93-70 was the final score. They played again on February 27th. The total was 144.5, higher than tonight's total. 84-75 was the final score. Now, I doubt that Central Connecticut State is going to have a game where they have 1.388 points per possession again. However, they've pretty much gotten whatever they wanted on offense against this team in the 2 games. And Lemoyne has the best offensive efficiency in the entire conference. Plus, there's this note. They are 23-7 to the over on the season. That is the number 1 mark overall in the entire country. So we're going to go Lemoyne and Central Connecticut State over 143.5, 144, the official G-Bank play of the day.
Best bets brought to you by G-Bank. Upping the ante with a $750 bonus for new G-Bank Visa Signature Card for customers. And new customers who spend $1,000 on eligible purchases within 90 days from account opening get a $250 bonus. And if you spend $50,000 on gaming and sports app loads within the 30 days of account opening, you get another $500 bonus. A $750 bonus. Apply now. VSiN.com/GBank. Subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply. VSiN.com/GBank.
Up next, VSiN host Matt Youmans on the program, so he will state his case, why he likes Maryland plus the points. He likes another dog in college basketball. And what else is he betting in these conference tournaments in terms of outrights?
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
In 15 minutes, in pocket plays, what we are betting tonight and beyond for this week, college basketball and other sports as well. Here, best bets from VSiN host Matt Youmans as he joins the program here on the Progressive Guest Line. A rare Wednesday appearance for him on the show following us. Typically, he is off on Wednesdays, but he'll be on for another 4 action-packed hours following us with Jonathan Von Tobel right here on VSiN. Matt, thanks for the time as always. We talked about this before you popped on. You do like Maryland tonight. It seems like everybody here at the network likes the Terrapins. State your case for them.
Yeah, that game's going to tip off here real soon. Yep. And when I talked with you a week ago, the Terps got beat on a half-court shot by Michigan State. I'm not going to say Maryland deserved to win that game because I think Michigan State outplayed Maryland for most of that game. So it was probably a justifiable result. Hey, last night there were a bunch of handicappers at the network on Texas A&M, and that worked out okay against Auburn, right? So hopefully we got this right, the groupthink with the Terps. And I'm pretty confident here in Maryland because I think Michigan is kind of like and a little bit similar to the Kansas City Chiefs. And they won in all these one-score games, 11 wins by 4 points or fewer to be exact. That's the most of any team in the nation. If you play with fire, you're going to get burned. Your luck's going to run out. The Terps are 5-1 in their last 6, and one of Michigan's weaknesses is turning the ball over. And Maryland did an outstanding job of turning over Penn State several times now, went on the road over the weekend. The Terps were 4 for 20 from 3 in that loss to Michigan State last week, but that was an outlier because they shoot 37% from 3 for the season. So I like Maryland here, +2. I think you're starting to see the Wolverines fade here late in the season, and their luck runs out.
All right. How about Ole Miss +3? Letdown for Tennessee?
Oh, that's got to be the spot. I mean, when you look at it, how lucky was Tennessee to win that game against Alabama?
Yep.
A complete meltdown by the Crimson Tide. It's just inexcusable to lose that game. Alabama had that one locked up, and Tennessee lucky as hell to win it. Now the Vols go on the road, and they face a Chris Beard team that is going to be well prepared tonight. I took Mississippi +3. One thing about the Vols, they have not been that great on the road in the SEC play. 4-4. They've been pretty good at home, even though they got the luck box win against Alabama. But 4-4 on the road for the Tide. I think I'm going to bank on Chris Beard tonight in a really good spot to fade Tennessee.
Okay, and then, next week is truly championship week, but this week's the mini version of it with the smaller conferences. Are you betting any of these games, or have you plunked down any cash on some outrights here, Matt?
I'm going to bet a bunch of conference tournaments, and I can tell you right now I'm going to be on UC San Diego to win the Big West. I don't think UC Irvine or Northridge or any of those other teams could beat UC San Diego on a neutral court here in Vegas. Now, price is probably going to be somewhere around even money, or maybe UC San Diego, a slight odds-on favorite, but not much. That's going to be one of my better bets. I'm going to put a column up either over the weekend or by Monday morning on my best bets for conference tournaments. I don't have any tonight, but I can tell you that one in the Big West is going to be one of them. The Mountain West is going to be interesting, too, because UNLV got a win last night. Rebels going to be – they're one of these teams, kind of like Indiana, and getting hot here late in the season. I'm not really sure how it's happening for UNLV because their point guard, De'Don Thomas, is out. But the Rebels going to be playing on their home court. They're going to be a dangerous team in the Mountain West tournament. They swept San Diego State for the first time. And they had Julian Rishwain, the guy who I watched throw up bricks for about a month, hit 6 for 9 from 3 last night.
Yeah.
That's kind of tough to handicap and predict. But you got to look for teams like that are getting hot late in the season. Indiana's won. And, by the way, anybody who had Indiana +7 last night, that's one of the worst beats of the entire season. I know Nick Bogdanovich of Circus Sports had it. I had it, and it's sick. Indiana up 1 with 1:30 to go, and Jackson Shellstad of Oregon hits a 35-foot three when the shot clock's running down and Hoosiers don't score again. By the way, Oregon not called for a foul in the last 15 minutes of the game. So that was the tough one. But, definitely look for teams that got a lot to play for going into the conference tournaments. Teams are getting hot. And I'll ask you guys, do you think it's better for teams like Auburn to lose early in the SEC tournament? Because I feel like one of the worst things that can happen is you go through all those battles in the SEC tournament, you win it, and you're tired. You're a tired team when you get to the NCAA tournament the next week.
Yes, I don't mind a team losing at all early on in their tournament. I don't mind that for 1 second, Matt.
That's why I think it's better to look for some of the longer shots in conferences like the Big Ten and the SEC. Yep.
Good points. Why do you think we see all these blown leads? What happened to Indiana, the meltdown, BYU up 22, Texas trying to give it away? What do you think's going on here in the last 10 minutes of these games that you see so many blown leads, big leads.
Well, one thing you see teams trying to run clock instead of running their offense, trying to get good shots, and that irritates the hell out of me. You're also seeing a lot of home court officiating, where the officials are doing their best to get the home team back into the game. Like Oregon last night, that was an extreme case of home court officiating, helping the Ducks out down the stretch. I thought the same with Iowa State. There were a couple ridiculous calls last night that went Iowa State's way, but that's going to happen too, and we're going to see a lot of that in the month of March.
Okay, so you have an update on this, and you need to refresh the audience because it's been a minute since we've talked about this, but you and Pauly were both talking a lot of trash to our buddy Nigel Seeley, who used to come on with us every week on the morning show. You guys, you made it on the air. You were bragging about how you could get one past some EPL keepers, I believe is what I was off. I was on vacation, I think. So set the scene here and give us the update on the penalty kicks challenge.
So that was during the World Cup, wasn't it, Paul?
Yeah, well, it was the summer, yeah. It was the Copa and whatever the hell else was going on, yeah. Euro. It was Euro, where every match was going to PKs and guys were missing the goal, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Even a guy like Messi, I think, whiffed and missed a goal. And Paul and I were sitting there going, this is ridiculous. Look how easy these penalty kicks are, how close they are to the goal. And the goalie's got to guess. And I said I could get, 2 or 3 by a professional goaltender. And Paul said he could get, I think, 4 by Nigel Seeley.
Yeah.
And, I'm betting on Paul Howard all day in that one. So we've had a lot of questions. We've had a lot of questions from people about when is this penalty kicks challenge going to happen. And I was hoping to do it out at Stadium Swim during March Madness, but I think we're going to have to delay it to the summer. I suffered a mysterious right hip injury in the past week, and I'm not 100%. I don't want to do this penalty kicks challenge until I'm fully healthy. I don't want to make excuses. I want to be ready to roll. So, Paul, let's work on getting this set up for the summer at Stadium Swim, and hopefully we can do this, right?
Okay. Well, I thought Bill Adey was on it.
When's Nigel coming to town? We have to schedule that, too.
Okay, right. Because we had it. They were going to get a keeper from UNLV, and then I don't know what happened. We had the keeper ready to go, and then Nigel personally himself said, I'll stop 6 or 7 to 10 against you guys, 9 to 10. Yeah. So we got that can be arranged.
Matt, dare I even ask on the air how you injured your hip?
It was a bull riding accident up at the rodeo at Cheyenne, Wyoming over the weekend.
Good. I like it. Good answer. So who are you betting? Yeah, okay, go ahead.
You know what happens when you get up around 50 years old, you get off the couch or you get out of bed in the morning and all of a sudden you got these mysterious injuries. You just, how the hell did that happen? I don't know how it happened. I really don't.
It's brutal. Yeah. I can relate. I know exactly what you're talking about. Who are you betting this week on the PGA Tour?
Well, I've had a little bit of bad run here in golf betting and bad luck, too, but I'm pretty confident going into this Arnold Palmer, not just throwing crap against the wall here. I like these plays. I bet Rory top 10 at minus 115. Rory's got two top 5s, actually 2 top 10s, I think, in the last 5 years, but he was top 25 here last year, and he's got positive course history at Bay Hill in Orlando. Ludwig Aberg, I bet him last night at a circa 15-1, also top 10 at plus 170. Shane Lowry, who is a guy who can excel on long courses with thick, rough weather, wind. I think that's what we're going to see in Orlando this week, similar to what we saw at Torrey Pines when Ludwig Aberg won. Lowry, top 10, plus 350. He was third on this course a year ago. And Scotty Scheffler, I don't want to bet him to win at the price, less than 4-1. But Scotty, top 5, minus 125. Seems like a really good bet, and you got to shop around for these prices. DraftKings has a bunch up, but Scotty's obviously won here 2 of the last 3 years, and you got to think he and Rory are going to be in contention, and a really good bet to be in the top 10. I heard Wes Reynolds on the show this morning say it's going to be an elite class player who wins this tournament, and I couldn't agree more. This is a long, tough golf course, and you want to bet on the best players this week.
Very good. Matt, thank you for the time. We appreciate that as always.
You bet.
There you go. Matt is coming up following us for the next 4 hours, talking a lot of college basketball with Jonathan Von Tobel right here on VSiN Primetime. That's going to be from 7 until 11 p.m. East Coast time.
We got to make this happen. This is going to be fun. The PKs. Youmans is more confident than I am.
That's what I heard.
Remember he went out and he practiced?
I heard he was very cocky about it.
Uh-huh.
And people were messaging me. You know what happened? We just adopted Sebastian, I believe.
Okay.
So people were messaging me, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? What is this? I have no idea.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Nigel was on and said, Meat Man's got our back on this, but Nigel said you wouldn't get too past me. I played back in the day, whatever, and then we were laughing because the guys were missing the goal in the Euros, and it took off from there. And then
every person who reached out to me mocked you guys.
Yeah, yes.
I'm like, okay, whatever. I guess I'll find out what it is when I get back.
True, yeah.
In-pocket plays, what we're betting tonight, coming up next year on VSiN.
Algorithm to determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3 to 1 odds. Nope. 5 to 1. Nope. 10 to 1. You're out.
All right, well, we all had them. And the Aztecs laying 2.5 out here last night. Matt's right. Rishwain, who averaged 9 points a game, was 6 of 9 from 3 and had 26 points. In the come-from-behind win for UNLV as they take out the Aztecs, and they're playing good ball, and they're going to be a 6 seed now, and they might play a Utah State right off the bat in that 6-3 matchup on a week from tomorrow. Cavs Bulls over. I said I expected 140 from the Cavs. I got it. 139 as they were awesome in the second half, and Jets in regulation, no good. That's a bad loss.
Let me step in here for 1 second.
Sure.
And this has nothing to do with you betting that, but just it's a me thing when it comes to betting either NHL teams to win in regulation or NHL teams to win on the puck line. The puck line, maybe I've won a couple. I don't think I've ever won a game betting a team to win in regulation.
Yeah.
It's like betting Major League Baseball teams on the run line. It always looks good.
Sure.
Until the final result is like,
tough
what?
One.
Golly.
They were off since Saturday. Islanders were on a back-to-back, and now the Jets have lost 3 in a row. Texas Tech to make the Final Four, 6-1. And if you look at bracketology today at ESPN.com, if that's their path, if that's their region, love it. And they're in action tonight, too. All right. Goal in the first 10. I ran down the numbers earlier when we did top, bottom, and ROI. Toronto's been on a heater, and the Knights have been solid at home as well. So the game out here, let's get a goal in the first 10. And I'm with Jonathan Davis on this one. Read his articles. Great today again, VSiN.com. Ton of picks, props. Never seen a guy with so many props in hockey. But the first period over with the Rangers and the Capitals. And again, Capitals, where'd I put it? They're on a nice run, too, with I think it's a 7-1 overrun in the first period as well. So that's what we're doing with hockey tonight.
All right, recapping my plays from last night. Green Bay plus 10 against Oakland, no good. 2-team money line parlay. They both lost, Auburn and San Diego State. Had you flipped it, it would have been a nice payday. I didn't. Don't parlay very often, but money line parlays once in a while. They both lost. How about that? Arkansas got there plus 7.5. They won it outright. And Georgia plus 1.5. That got hairy a couple of times, but they pulled away from South Carolina. So 2-2 overall with the plays last night. Moving on to tonight. Anytime goal, I'm doing it again. Alex Ovechkin against the Rangers.
All right.
Plus 135. Now, he has played the Rangers twice this year. Once against Shesterkin. Had 2 goals in that game. The other game was against Jonathan Quick. The Caps had 6 goals. He had 1 against Quick in that game. So I got to keep doing this at plus money. The Martingale system. Here we go. I got to bet him until he scores a goal. So doing it again tonight. I made my case for Lemoyne Central Connecticut State over 143.5 over the course of the show. To repeat it one more time, they have played twice so far this year. The first time they played, the total was 136.5. They combined for 163. The second time they played, not that long ago, the total was higher than tonight, 144.5. They got to 84-75 in that game. Lemoyne's a big dog tonight. They have the best adjusted offensive rating in the entire conference, and Central Connecticut State has gotten whatever they wanted against Lemoyne's defense in those 2 previous matchups. And Lemoyne's also 23-7 to the over on the year, the best team in the country. NBA tonight, player prop Anthony Edwards over 3.5, made threes minus 115. Edwards, now he's only gone, check that, let me reverse here. He's gone under this number in 3 out of 4 games. However, he was over 3.5 made threes in 6 out of 7 before that. Plus, they're taking on Charlotte tonight. Buddy Hield had 5 I'm going to go in games in reverse order for Charlotte. He had 5 in that game. The Wizards hit 17 threes. Klay Thompson had 4 threes against them. The Warriors played them again the week before. They hit 15. Buddy Hield had 4 in that game. Sacramento hit 20 threes against Charlotte. Levine had 8. Portland hit 20 threes against Charlotte. Anthony Simons had 5. Kamara, Sharp each had 4. Their three-point defense is horrendous. So I'll go with Ant-Man tonight, over 3.5. The Blazers bet him earlier +8. It went up. It's now 9.5. They're down some guys tonight. Celtics are down a bunch of guys. I added more at 9.5 on the Trailblazers. And Russell Henley top 20 at the Arnold Palmer Invitational this week. There is an account I follow on X that sends out a bunch of data and trends over the years for every single tournament that we have. So the top 5 trends for this week, it's golf stats on Twitter. You got to be ranked top 10 in field for putting average, top 10 finish in the last 2 months, top 10 ranking in shots gained, approach the greens last 2 months, and ranked top 10 in the field for par 4 scoring. There's 13 overall. Nobody meets all 13. 2 golfers meet 12 out of the 13 criteria. One is Scottie Scheffler. The other is Russell Henley. And I love this guy. I think he's going to win at least one tournament this year. He might be in the mix to win a major, but I'll go top 20 plus 105 on Russell Henley this week.
All right. Championship week tipping off. Playoff races around the corner. NBA, NHL, NFL draft, MLB opening day. Players Championship next week. Every pick, every host, every guest. The MLB betting guide, the March Mania betting guide. Get in, little as $9.99. New subscribers get every best bet, every host, every guest. The Bill 80 email in the morning, the deep dive stats, and all the guides. Prop Analyzer, phenomenal. VSiN.com/subscribe. And A+ to everyone this week on the websites with the conference tournament previews. Burke, Cohen, Shoemaker, Mackin. It's been incredible. Cohen with the NBA as well. And hoops with every prediction and the daily card, because there's a lot going on in college basketball. VSiN.com.
Maryland got out to a quick lead over Michigan, but now midway through the first half, Michigan, they are up on top 14-12 in that game. The updated in-play number here, Michigan -2.5. That was the number for most of the day until money came in on Maryland. And the new total now is 143.5. Low scoring here, first 10 minutes, Pauly. So it's dropped a good, 10.5 points so far on the total. Mm-hmm. And then most of the other games are starting a little bit later on today. I thought Hoops made a great call, or had a great breakdown on Chicago State and Long Island, which starts at the top of the hour. And Long Island is laying 12.5 in this game tonight. Mm-hmm. Chicago State's team total is 58.5. Boy, based on his analysis at VSiN.com, I almost want to play the team total under. About how not great on offense, Loyola's defense can stifle them without any problems, but I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay. Caleb Martin out. Celtics will start White, Brown, Hauser, Horford, and Cornette. Cavs will start Garland, Mitchell, Strus, Mobley, Allen. Randall's in.
He's in.
He's in.
Oh.
DiVincenzo, Edwards, McDaniels, Randall, Reed. No Hero. Mitchell, Rozier, Burks, Love, Adebayo. The Jazz are sitting Markkanen, Sexton, Collins, Clarkson, Kessler, and George. They're all out.
Actually, what is that current number right now?
Oh, man. Freak is good to go tonight. Lillard is good to go tonight. And Halliburton was still questionable last check. What do you got? Let me look at that.
I'll give you the starting lineups.
They are playing. Utah is playing Washington, so
of course.
But that's oh my God!
So,
what a tank!
Wait, so Washington's laying 5.5 now.
That's what it was. Yeah, that's what I saw.
It almost just screams bet Utah. Oh, but they also might have their marching orders. Who knows?
Yes. The movement based on everything today, OKC, John Morant was at shoot-around, 247.5 up to 252.5. The Dallas under, 225.5 down to 222.5. The Pistons from 1.5 up to 4.5. No Kawhi, no Jones. Utah under, open 233.
233, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Miami under 227 down to 221.5. T-Wolves over 222 up to 225.5.
Wow, that Heat Cavs thing still. I haven't bet it yet, but...
No, I can't do it.
221.5?
No, I can't do it. Most efficient offense in NBA history?
They might score 130 tonight. I know they're playing the Heat. There's no hero, but...
I know.
Good Lord. So the Celtics are going to go Derek White, Hauser, Brown, Horford, and Cornette as a starting five.
Then why'd the line tick back up?
The official players who are out for the Blazers, Ayton, Grant, Thibault, and Williams. But we
knew two of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh-huh.
They have a ton of young dudes. They play all of them. They've been playing good basketball.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you at halftime when the Celtics have 17 three-pointers made. Sticking it right in my eyeball.
All right. Youmans, Von Tobel coming up next. VSiN Primetime. Cashing out Joe Serralo, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. And by the book, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Matt Vasgersian tomorrow. Futures MLB. Awards. He's been awesome. We'll talk to Vasgersian. Must listen. The Meat Man's on. Hey, Brucey. Bruce Marshall will be on as well. And it's a deep college basketball card.
It is.
And now we start with all the day action tomorrow.
Vasgersian's analysis on like Cy Young awards has been absolutely superb over the years. I can't wait for tomorrow. Good luck tonight.
New Balance Hoops is changing the game with a roster built for the future. Darius Garland, Tyrese Maxey, and Zach LaVine push the pace, while Cooper Flagg is set to be the next #1 pick. Cam Brink is raising the bar for women's basketball, proving that impact goes beyond the court. Whether it's the Hezzy Low V2s for quick cuts, the two-way V5 for all-round play, or the Kawhi 4 for those who never stop climbing, New Balance Hoops makes shoes built for every player. Visit newbalance.com/basketball to explore more.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com.